Welcome back to Vietnam Crypto Insight.
Let's talk about some of the events we've got coming up.
Sunday, we got the Southeast Blockchain event here at Landmark 81, or the new signature building of Ho Chi Minh City. Should be nice. Got a lot of people. I know they got Chris Tan, who's with Sandbox. They got the Solana people over there, of course. Kelly. And what's that? They have so many other dynamic speakers there, but I think they also got a couple side events that they just threw on as well. One with Sui and some other ones as well. So it's going to be interesting. I thought it was kind of odd they're having it on the Sunday, but maybe that's probably the best day they can get Landmark 81 for.
Yeah, I feel like that there's a lot of one of the things I noticed when I moved here was that there's a lot of events happening all the time. A lot of crypto events in Vietnam. It's pretty exciting. It's cool. It's such a vibrant ecosystem. A lot of the blockchain, I think you guys can speak to it a bit more, like a lot of these that are in this space and in here, and a lot of the exchanges tend to host a lot of events, a lot of activation events, and they really focus on doing like in-person events to kind of activate, which I find quite different to, I mean, in the rest of the world you do see it, but they're usually just like big conferences. But
Right.
outside of the big conferences like in Denver and stuff that just happened last week, outside of those big conferences, there's not really, most of the events are like online. You know, most of these other
Right.
European and North American blockchains and protocols tend to have their events happening online, and they try to grow their ecosystem online. So it's quite surprising.
Well, I like the side events the most. I mean, we was talking about that. How we go, they have something that on some rooftop over here or rooftop over there, and you get to kind of meet people in a more relaxed environment and talk business. It's not so stiff.
I wonder also as well, you know, in a lot of Western countries like North America, like, I mean, specifically the US, and the other countries that kind of follow suit around, regulations that come up in the US where they're like, there's less of like this organic events that are happening where people can just get together and talk crypto because they're afraid. They're afraid of, like if we launch a token, is the SEC going to come after us? Whereas like, yeah, you know what, right, like it's like a legitimate fear, because like here in Asia, it's like, okay, Asia operates separate to the US, and the SEC doesn't really have jurisdiction to come after projects that are here. As provided as long as the projects here are not allowing US citizens to access these projects and buy tokens. Because as soon as you start offering securities or like tokens to US citizens, that's when you have.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah, that's where you have the opportunity for the SEC to come down.
I think the only major regulation they passed after the 2017, was the big ICO things. I think that's the only regulation that's here that they'll probably crack down on you, is if you are trying to launch an ICO after that, because of course, some of the big, like, was it BitConnect? Was it BitConnect that was in Asia? Yeah, that actually went down spectacularly right here in Asia. So that actually raised a lot of, it drew a lot of negative publicity, and I think that's why the government did crack down on it. Other than that, I mean, they understand that this is a younger, more vibrant, tech-heavy, tech-savvy group here. So they're kind of like, Vietnam is hands-off. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's thriving over here. Because they don't really, try to stop it. It's not seen as a threat. It's more of like, okay, this is something we can use to grow our economy as well.
I think
That's your take?
I strongly believe that there will be a lot of regulations from the government to control the crypto and the money flow in and out of crypto, because maybe it's not now yet, in the near future, maybe by the end of this year or maybe next year, we have a regulation to control the crypto market, because we have already seen that everywhere, everywhere talking crypto, everywhere talking blockchain, especially in the main cities. And it will soon be soon going to the rural areas also, because you see the borderless the borderlessness of crypto, I think the penetration in Vietnam is super high and super fast, just like the mobile network in the last 10, 20 years. So I think, yeah, we have to take like we have to aim to focus and take the chance immediately. If you want to open a project, you can consider Vietnam because it's quite open over here and less restriction. And I can say that the government somehow like promoting it to develop the blockchain technology in Vietnam. So
I don't know. Have you seen a lot of people using the borderless payment here, though, as far as crypto? I mean, I heard of there's a company that's based in Singapore. I just was reading about Alchemy Pay. You probably heard of them.
yeah,
Right.
They're supposed to be doing some sort of major um, fiat exchange between multiple countries, especially like the UK and the US. But I'm curious as if you see a lot of inflows from like USDT to yeah. I know there's not really a lot of on and off ramps unless you're doing some OTC stuff here, but I mean, when you work in that space, I mean, you see a lot of people that are sending like their USDT to Vietnam or.
right now, like people are more into P2P and OTC kind of thing. And however, it's not secure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I witnessed a lot of the cases where they fake the bill, the
Fake
transaction
document.
bill, and then on the exchanges, user just click I have received without checking their actual account. So a lot of scam been going. I'm not sure. Like, let me try using the how can we pay to see if anything better than the classic way. Like, yeah, and OTC is quite obvious. Like, you meet the person face to face and do the transaction. Yeah. Do the exchange, not the transaction. But
Right.
do the exchange. You give me USDT, I give you money.
Right.
Yeah, or Bitcoin or any kind of token.
Asset. Yeah, that
any
you
kind
want.
of a digital asset to receive the fiat money. That's kind of exchange.
Yeah.
However, there's no regulation.
Right, there's no regulation, so it's kind of like, kind of a free for all. But
Do you think there's going to be a crackdown on it? Like, one of the things that I noticed about Asia, a lot of these Asian countries, is it's very cash-driven economies, and the governments in all these countries kind of just allow that cash society to operate, whereas it's really kind of counter to what's happening in the West, America, Australia, and I think even in UK and Europe, there's been a crackdown on cash. So one of the things that's been happening in Australia is that now, like for anti-money laundering, regulations, they, any bank transaction where you are getting $10,000 out of cash has to be noted and reported to the government. But what banks are doing, all the big banks are doing, is that now any transactions that you do over like $2,500, I'm talking about Australian dollars, right?
right,
Gets reported, and so they ask you, like,
Right.
what are you doing with this money? So there's a lot of people that are resistant to it, but like even I just saw an announcement, Commonwealth Bank, which is one of the big four banks in Australia. Australia has like four big banks that kind of run the whole system, and they are now close. I saw an article that they're closing down all their physical branches, and they're going to be completely digital. So they're really moving towards this full cashless digital society. And they're all phasing in their own central CBDCs. All the big banks are. I was talking to someone that's working with government and working with some of these organizations in crypto in Australia from one of the big universities a couple of years ago, and he was saying that all of the banks are rolling out their own central, like their own CBDCs. The Reserve Bank is also going to be doing the same thing. So they're really pushing the CBDC narrative.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I think Alchemy Pay is supposed to be doing that with Hong Kong, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we'll see.
Do you guys see?
They do the same thing, and they're shutting down a lot of the banks in the U.S. too. I was talking to somebody. I was trying to send them some money the other day, and they were like, they couldn't find their bank. You know, so they just closed all the Bank of America's here. It's like really?
That
So
Bank of
what do you
America is
do?
a big bank too, as well, right?
Yeah, but they're closing a lot of branches. I mean, you know, it's kind of funny, but yeah, I was shocked because there's like 2 or 3 branches in this guy's city, and it's like they're not there anymore. So I think they have an ATM here or there, but there's nowhere that you can go walk in and talk to anybody.
You know, when in the 6 months before I left Australia, this was like in 2021, I would go out. I wouldn't even take my wallet with me because I could pay for everything on my phone. And so I had no use for my wallet. My license was on my wallet, my bank accounts were on my wallet, on my phone. So I didn't really need anything. And at the time I was like, oh, this is awesome, super convenient. But there is definitely a drawback when you have like this controlling of how you're spending your cash, what you're spending your cash, and this monitoring of that is the other side of it, where the convenience kind of is outweighed by the privacy. You know, and the argument is that, well, like if you have nothing to hide, then you know it should be fine, right? But it's like, well, no, but I don't want to be controlled that way. Like I don't want to have the possibility of, you know, me not being able to access my cash because of something that might happen. You know,
But don't lose your phone.
yeah, and that too. You know.
Also, you know, one of the things I was just telling you about earlier, you know, I have a number of exchange accounts, and one that I have in the U.S. is they've been really giving me a lot of hassle here lately. It's kind of shocking, but you know, they're asking me, you know, are you in Vietnam? Our IP address, your IP detect that we detect a login from Vietnam. I'm like, really? You guys are tracking me? I mean, what am I on the most wanted list because I deal with crypto? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. It's kind of scary, but you know, I mean, you could sense that, you know, since a lot of these banks are, I think there was a former IMF guy that was actually interviewed last week. I was reading an article on him. He said that there's still like hundreds of banks that are on the verge of actually collapsing in the U.S. And so I think a lot of this is out of that fear. You know, they're pushing these policies or these actions that's, you know, making them, okay, where's our money going? You know, when it's not even their money, but you know, they feel it's their money, so they have to have control over everything. So they just are asking everybody questions and giving everybody like this kind of like Gestapo, like, you know, what are you doing? Where's your wallets? Show me your cold wallets. And, you know, that's like, really?
And then the other thing that I've noticed as well, so one of the exchanges that I used to use in Australia, one of my fiat on-ramps that I used, I logged in the other day. I don't really use the exchange anymore. I haven't used it for a long time, but I wasn't sure if I had some funds still on there. And so I tried to log in, and I always have my VPN on my phone because I just like to have it on, and the internet's fast enough here that I can justify having it on all the time. I tried to log in, and it wouldn't let me get into the login page. It was blocking my connection with the VPN, so I could log onto like the website, but I couldn't actually go to the actual app. And so I had to turn my VPN off, and then I was able to access the site. Even though I had the VPN turned on to Australia, I still wasn't able to get into
So
the
now
site.
they're going to be asking you, why are you logging in from Vietnam?
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
So they're like, they're blocking your VPN connection, and then on top of that,
Why,
so they
why are you in Vietnam?
Yeah, like what Coinbase is doing, right? So
Yeah, man, it's
kind of scary. Yes.
yeah.
That's kind of scary.
Exciting time, but it's also a little scary.
Because I think the nature of you know, the first purpose of Bitcoin is bankless
Right.
transactions and bankless control of the money.
Yes.
However, right now the bank jumped in, the government jumped in.
Yeah.
Of course, on the bright side, we can see that it restricts the money laundering or the smuggling
Right.
among the globe. But at the same time, like our normal use, we are just
Regular people.
regular people, regular individuals doing some trading to earn some living, and then we have tracked down by the government. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think a lot of times they use this anti-money laundering and anti-terrorist stuff. They use that as a pretext because I think ultimately when it comes down to it, they still want control.
Yes.
You know?
They want to control
because there's
something that they.
there's not that many. I'm sorry. There's just, I've been around the world. I'm not as traveled as perhaps somebody that's been 100 countries like our friend here. He's off camera, but I don't see that there's that many terrorists. There might be a handful in each country, but
Dude, for example, like you go on a trip, you bring a bunch of gold of gold rings, for example, and then you go to that country and you need some cash. You sell the gold, you sell one ring,
Yeah.
sell golden ring, just like to spend on your own normal use, like daily use. So what's wrong with that? It's the same thing with Bitcoin or other coin. Like you have a wallet and you go everywhere, but you see people have demand on it and you sell it.
Yeah.
But in the eye of the regulators, you are violating the law. You don't pay the tax.
But
There's a lot of complications,
the
right?
thing is, the thing that's crazy about it is that if you wanted to undertake illicit activities, it's far easier to do it with cash than it is to do it with crypto. Because even now, there's no way for you to get crypto, go from fiat to crypto, unless you know someone and you can do OTC deals with them. But even with that, you're taking a haircut and you're taking a huge risk.
Right.
Most of the crypto that is in circulation that people own right now is, or like most of the crypto that's been bought over the last like 2-3 years in the market growing has been done through centralized exchanges, and all of those accounts are tracked. It's very hard for you, like coin mixes like Tornado Cash have been taken down, and even with those coin mixes, it's still possible to back calculate and track where the money has been going and trace it. And there's really advanced stuff going on. Like I have a buddy that works at an exchange, like runs a centralized exchange, and he was saying like they had, I think one of their customers, I don't know whether they like stole funds or something, or they were able to steal funds or something, or something happened. But anyway, they got like government agencies involved to track this person, and they could see where all the money was going.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
They have software.
yeah, like it's.
As a matter of fact, Coinbase sold their software. They basically I think they basically gave their software that they have to do that to the government.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just that's why I'm starting to call.
I'm looking
Coinbase.
forward.
Coinbase is like the FBI to me. I'm sorry. They're not on my good list anymore.
I think I'm looking forward to Apple releasing their own wallet, because this, as far as I know, that Apple respect the users' privacy.
But when it comes down to it, those big corporations, when they get enough pressure, they're going to cave to the government. It's
Yeah.
not. They're not stupid. I mean, they'll fight them a little bit and try to say that they're advocates for the small guy or the customer, but at the end of the day, they'll hand over. They'll sell you out, man.
And look, the other thing is that needs to be considered is that I think a lot of people they don't want to have crypto because they're trying to do something illegal or they're trying to evade paying taxes. The thing is that most of these governments have really problematic tax regulations around crypto that makes it very difficult to document and manage. And it's not really feasible in the way that they've implemented a lot of their taxation around crypto and the way that they treat it. And so I think, if they want to play ball with this, they need to really look at and talk to users and actually have users be involved in that process so that they can say, okay, like what is reasonable tax regulations that we can enforce that isn't arduous for the users that are using and transacting crypto day to day, but then also as well is fair and reasonable. And the crazy thing is like if you look at like the property market in the US or in Australia and some of these countries, the tax offsets and the tax the tax minimization systems and schemes they have in place is insane. It's insane, and that's why a lot of these people that have made a lot of money in these countries have done it through real estate.
And they pay zero tax.
Yeah, exactly.
Even a lot of the big corporations, they pay zero tax because
Yeah.
they use these schemes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to go full-fledged after the crypto guys.
Yeah, it's
funny.
it's quite illogical.
Yeah, it is.
So, do you have any hidden fund?
No, I don't.
No, no. I mean,
You mean what?
Like in a family,
I
you know,
don't.
the husband always have like the hidden fund, right?
No, I don't.
Crypto is one of them, right? So you cannot list out in the past, right? Many people who want to hide some money, they put it in Bitcoin, they put it in Ethereum, they put it in Ripple.
Right.
Yeah. And one day they just open up their wallet and wow, my wallet's my money just making profit for me, something like that. From the hidden fund. And
100x.
yeah,
Wow.
especially husbands, they always hide their money from the wife for some like
Yeah,
know,
man.
and today is the Women's Day, so I'm not really sure if women's also have that kind of fun. I strongly believe they have
think
it.
a lot.
I think Vietnamese women are worse. They have a lot of fun. In my experience, anyway. Yeah, they have the hidden fun. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I think once I get married, I will create my own wallet and then I put money in there. So once a divorce happened,
Once it happens, what do you mean? Once it
I have something.
So you
for
plan to
myself.
fail.
Yeah.
Bro. We always hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, right?
That's true.
Nobody knows.
That's a good one.
So, do you guys have any more like info around like events and things coming up? Like, what are you excited about, like in terms of like crypto events and stuff in Vietnam?
Well,
I was coming up.
I was excited about Eat Vietnam. I don't think I'm gonna go to Hanoi. I think Kelly might be going up there. But yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
Vitalik's supposed to make a guest appearance. I don't know how that's going to be, whether it's going to be on a broadcast. I don't know if it's, of course, one of the guys said he was staying down the street. I don't know if I believe that, but
I don't believe it.
yeah, I don't know if I believe that because I mean, I think it would be at a more exclusive place than the place he was at.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
place is nice, but it's not the most exclusive place in Vietnam. I mean, I think it would probably be at a Sheraton or something like that, or maybe even like a villa. And they got a lot of nice villas around here, private.
Yeah,
can see
in
him
my
doing something
experience,
like
I don't believe in the look. Vitalik may look simple, like a regular guy, but at his level, he cannot be simple.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched him over the whiteboard. Doing all these scribbles, and it's like I was watching him. Surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
yeah. He knows what to do. He knows exactly what to do and where to stay. Of course, he will not appear on the street.
No,
I don't believe.
not here, because he'd be mobbed, because there's a lot of crypto people here.
I feel like also over the years he's stepped back, like especially the last couple of years, he's stepped back away from the limelight.
From the
in terms
limelight,
of,
yeah.
Like he doesn't really tweet anymore. He's not really. I don't know.
I think he rightfully did that because there's a lot of regulations coming down.
Well, but I think for the
What happened with CZ? You know what happened
Yeah,
with
yeah.
CZ?
He
and what
doesn't
happened
want
with-
to. He don't want none of that CZ, none of that limelight. But
should we wrap it
let's
up?
probably wrap it
Yeah,
up.
we'll wrap it up. And there's one thing I would like to talk about.
Okay, what's that?
About like scamming in crypto.
Okay.
Yeah, have you ever experienced any scam?
Yeah, I think anybody that's been in this market for anything over a year has lost some money. I've lost money on a little money on Luna. I lost a little money on can't even think of the name. There's been several where I lost over 1,000 or more, and You don't know until you know. I mean,
You don't know
good
until
thing-
you lose
good
the money.
thing, the good thing about being here though in Southeast Asia, you can actually meet people that are part of projects. You know, when I was in the U.S., even though I was close to Silicon Valley, I lived in Reno. It was there was it's not a lot of action. I mean, there's some action, but there was not a lot of people that you can go meet and actually see that were part of projects that you can say, okay, these guys are legitimate. They're doing a really serious project, and I can invest in it.
So how
I
about
was
you?
blindly
Have you
investing.
Ever
Doing
scammed?
online research.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I've put money in a few rounds, but I knew what I was doing. It was play money. It was money that I'd made during the bull market, and I knew what I was getting into. You know, sometimes you just want to play the shitcoin casino. You want to ape into contracts that have just gone live 12 hours ago with no team, no devs, and no known devs. You don't know who these people are. Sometimes you make money. Sometimes the market cap goes up to 30K and then it just gets rugged, and then they pull liquidity out of the LP and then you lose all your money. It's okay.
So in short, that sometimes we are scammed because we don't do the research properly.
Well, I was doing stupid things on purpose. You know,
No,
just playing around with funny money.
You know what? I think everybody gets scammed before being a genius in the crypto market.
Yeah, you're gonna lose if you've been playing around in this market.
Yeah.
If you've been playing around in this market for any time other than like one of the major coin like Bitcoin or something, you're gonna lose. It's just
Maybe
it's
next
just gonna
time
happen.
we will-
But you just gotta make sure you mitigate that risk. Hey, put 1 or 2%. I'm not giving no advice, of course, but you know, I only put like 1 or 2 or 3%.
Yeah, not financial
usually
advice, but yeah.
in something, you
Yeah.
know. Because you know,
So-
like in SHIB went like 50,000%.
Yeah.
So maybe next time, like in the next conversation, we will collect the scam example for scammings and.
Yeah. Talk about some of the ones that have happened in the
we talk
past.
about the scams. We
Yeah.
talk about the scams, so we can aware people of the fraud, of spam in the market, because we see that the bull run is happening.
There's gonna be
And
some more
of course,
scams.
a lot of scam
There's
will
gonna
come
be
with
a lot
gold.
of scams, like usual.
Yeah. Of course, not financial advice, but at least we can maybe talk from experience and share some of that with you guys so that, you know, you can kind of get a feel for what to avoid.
Yeah. All right. So that's enough for today.
I think that's it.
Thank
Yeah,
you
let's
for
wrap
coming,
it up.
and thank you for watching us. See you next time.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
you.